Hi, good afternoon, everybody. All right. Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Just to do a quick check, can you type in the chat, type a letter Y if you can see the screen, because when our trainer and trader Binni is going to share, she'll be sharing her screen. Okay, great. So for those of you who are new to Binni, just to let you know, Binni has more than 15 years of trading experience. I know a lot of good traders who will also learn from her. So rest assured that you'll get very good content in this series. And Vinny has kindly uh, agreed to work with us to share knowledge to and content to our clients. So do take time out and spend time to learn from her. So now over to you, Vinny.
Thank you, Minghan. Hello, everyone. This is Binni here. So let me just get my earphone off. We are doing a total of 10 sessions with Philip's Karate. I think that this session is more like market update, but basically we are doing live. Okay, we are doing a little bit live here. So I'm looking at the live charts later on, even though you are seeing, like content here. So it will be until about 12:30. What I like is that I like to, uh, for you to ask me questions as I am looking through the past. Okay. And the focus would be on FX indexes, gold, oil. So these will be the focus here. All right. So four things I'm going to focus. I know that a lot of you are doing stocks. Yes, I'm doing stocks as well, equities as well. But I'll be doing on FX, on gold, on oil, and indexes. Okay. So let me know quickly, briefly, what kind of products or what are you trading in this four broad category, then I know what to cater to what I'm going to discuss right now. Okay. So meanwhile, while you're typing, I will be showing the disclaimer, whatever that's being discussed here, for educational purpose, not financial advice. That's from PhillipCapital. This is my own, all right, whatever that's being said here, also financial advice and not recommendation. Not financial advice, okay, just educational, not recommendation. All right, briefly about myself. If you do need to contact me, okay, then you can contact the email, which is support@onlineforexmaster.com. That's how to reach me. Or you can go to my YouTube channel, all right, and type a YouTube message to me. Okay, just make sure that you go to the comment section and then you type a message. I'll be able to see your message to me. Okay, so these are the two forms to contact me if you do have any questions. Okay, I'm just gonna browse through this very, very quickly because I don't have a lot of time today. So as I said, right, just gonna do a little bit of a market summary and then gonna go through the more interesting parts, interesting pairs. And if you do have questions, you let me know, okay, on which pairs, whatever that you want to talk about. Okay, then we look at it live. All right. And do you have a demo account with Philips? If you do not have, you can open a demo account for your MT5 CFDs. Okay, so you can see the same thing as what I'm using. All right, so with all this, let me just go to um the live screen. Okay, just want to check that you can see my charts right now. Okay, so this is the MT5's Philip charts. Okay. All right. If yes, you type a 1 and let me know. Okay, very good. All right. I'm just going to start off with a little bit of the market summary. That means that what we are looking at this week. Okay, just to let you know, all right, what I usually like to do is that for me, I would like to have a look, right, into the for like the calendar. That means that as a habit, right, to look into what's up for this week. Okay, so this is Forex Factory calendar showing because this is what I'm using, not what I'm endorsing. All right, we focus on the red color event. Okay, we don't look at the uh, orange or the yellow just on the red color event. So you know that Monday was a US holiday basically, not much news events, but starting from today, we have the Frank CPI, and then the USD, we have the ISM manufacturing PMI. All right, and then Aussie, which is the GDP, and then anything that's due with rates, that means that if you do see rates, okay, and rate statement, these are very important information or market moving. So we expect that probably CAD will move this week. But I want to say that if you are in my session, you know that I will not be focusing too much on CAD, because usually most of the time when CAD has important data this week, the movement will happen last week. Okay, that means that it will move ahead of whatever that's going to happen this week. Okay, and the real market mover as the press conference, not the actual rate itself. So we are expecting that CAD would cut rate, okay, which is within the expectation. But what we are interested in is a press conference to give future indication whether Canadian side BOC will continue to cut rate. Okay, and just to let you know, right, we're expecting US to cut rate in September. So what is happening to its neighbor, which is Canada, it's going to be very important for indication, for the market to have indication, right, on whether US will continue to cut in December. Okay, so it's almost like a given US will cut in September, but what the BOC said, the market is going to use it as like a reference, okay, a clue to know whether the US might be cutting again on how much, right, in December. So it does gives a bit of overall sentiment. So CAD, yes, is something that I want to focus this week as well. But not to look at the rate, but to look at the press conference. Okay. And then we do have later on, which is the end of the week, which is Friday, again, the NFP. So this is NFP, which is going to be very important. So this week, the US dollar is going to be market mover. Okay. So take a look at Friday NFP at 8:30 p.m. All right. So far, I will finish one section, which is like this. And if you do have questions, then you can put it in the chat box. I'll be able to see what you asked me. All right. So if you see my head turning to left side, that means I'm looking at your chat, at the chat. So let me know if you do have questions on this part here. Okay. All right. If you don't have questions, I'm just going to move on. I'm just going to do a little bit quicker, faster. Meanwhile, if you have questions, just let me know. And also, I'll be exposing you to some concept here and there, all right, as you look at my charts here. So this is Philip uh, uh, Poyam's CFD's account, all right? And then I have activated the FX, the indexes, as well as the bottom. You're going to see the oil and the gold, okay? So start off with this one, which is NDX. NDX is the NASDAQ CFDs, okay? So I have the moving averages here, all right, just in case that you're interested. This one is a 21 EMA, all right. The blue one is a 55 EMA, okay. I'll be sometimes using them, sometimes not using them. In the lower time frame, you find that I'm not using them, okay. Usually, I'll be looking at the moving average just as a gauge, right? But I'm more a price-based person. That means I'm more looking at prices, so more to look at the price action. Okay, so just to let you know, yes, in terms of trend, okay, so usually what I do is that I start off the analysis from the day first, okay? So day, and then I move on to the week. So from the day, if you take a look at the long-term movement, right? So price is still in an uptrend, okay? So this is still an uptrend here because we have the low, okay? So this is a higher low, and this one, even though it create a steep down, right? So this is still a higher low, okay? So it is still an uptrend with a higher high and a higher low. Okay, so we have the high, we have the higher high here. Okay, so still an uptrend here, right? Now, if you take a look into the week, okay, so this is what I like to do because I like to go to the day and then go to the week, right, to make a little bit of a inspection All right. So from the week, it's very obvious that the market is having a support level here. Okay. All right. Now, it might just miss a little bit. It doesn't really matter. But more important, right? You know that this was the high of NASDAQ. And then previous round, when it dropped, it got supported. And this time round, it's also being supported. Now, in other words, right, price must never close below this high here. Okay, because if price is to close below this high, so this is the high here, right, which is about 16,800. Okay, the implication would be, that this whole up, okay, would be wrong. That means people who bought, right, at this place here, okay, they will be wrong if price is to close below 16,800. So hence, right, whatever NASDAQ is dropping, it shouldn't close below 16,800. Okay. Now, but the thing is this, the previous round, what we've seen was that NASDAQ, each time when it corrected by this amount. Okay. So this correction was, and this past few correction, right, was less than 10%, just to give you like a guide here. Now, however, when this came down for NASDAQ, this was approximately about 15%. Okay. Now, although the trend is still up, because of this 15% correction, right, I think that at this moment, NASDAQ is looking a little bit weaker. Okay, partly because of this 15%. So in order for the buy of the activities, right, or buy interest to resume, okay, so there is a need either for a correction downwards to the support level here. Okay, so the support level could be either this low or this low. So there could be a correction for this support level here, or there is a need, right, for price to break higher. Okay, so hence, if you take a look at the value proposition of NASDAQ at this moment, if this was a high at 10, okay, so we know that this was a high at 10, right? We just give these like arbitrary value, and then this is a low at 1, then can I just ask, right, at NASDAQ, this level here, okay, what is the estimated value? Is it closer to 10 or is it closer to 1? Give me the response at the chat. Okay, closer to 10. And what is the estimated value? Is it like 7 or 8, or is it like 3 or 4? Yeah. Okay. So hence, right, we can use certain techniques such as the Fibonacci retracement to draw this. Okay. And you realize that it's about 76.4, all right, or about 62%. So we are in that 76 to 62% region, all right, where it just makes it a little bit more sense to take a bit of a bearish stand. Okay, because we're nearer to the high. Okay, the only thing is that if I were to switch that into the day, the only thing what's not happening is that price is pretty much supported at this level here. Okay, that means that we are in probably a region, right, where it doesn't make a lot of sense to be that bullish. Okay, because we're nearer to that high point, but it doesn't have that trigger, all right, to say that it is that bearish as well. Okay, so my guess is that the market is probably waiting for Friday NFP to really move. Okay, so they either waiting for some clue, which could be BOC statement as a clue, right? Or either NFP, which is this Friday, as a clue to either push higher a little bit, all right, or either to push it down. Okay, so if you take a look at, for example, the whole NASDAQ setting, it is near a previous high. So this was that previous high zone here. Okay, so that was the high point here, right? We call this a potential resistance, okay, because of this one coming inside here. Okay, and at the same time, this high level was a previous resistance. That means that when NASDAQ came down, right, it went up a little bit and then came back down, right? So it was that high resistance, okay? So either we are waiting for a whole zone of support, right, to be broken. And where is the support, right, that I'm estimating that the market is looking at? So is this whole support here, which is about Let me just change the color, 19,200. Just give me a while to change that color. Okay, so you should see better, right? So look, 19,200 is the current support level here. Otherwise, there might be a chance for price to retest this high, like this, to retest this high, and we're going to see whether this high can be broken or not. Okay, that means that for price to push up a little bit higher, all right, because it doesn't make sense to sell when it's too low, right? To push up a little bit higher, and depending on that news, right, either they push higher or either they just push higher to trap a little bit more bids here, and then before coming down. Okay, so two levels to take note of for NASDAQ. One is the break of support. Okay, so that's about 19,200, or for price to push a little bit higher, all right, that if there's a failure to break above the resistance, which is about 19,900 plus minus, I would say actually is about 20,000. And then if it fails that 20,000 and then come back down, that also becomes a clue, right, that it's going to get a little bit more bearish. Okay, so that's all for NASDAQ. I won't cover the other indexes because they are all almost looking the same. Okay, except that Dow Jones and Russell is a little bit different. Okay, so just ask any question here. Okay, I will wait for your questions while I'll move on to the next one, which is the euro. So as I said, right, we're gonna expect, which is NFP. So NFP is going to move very much the dollar, and something very interesting in the euro, because the euro recently starts dropping. Okay, it starts correcting, right? So in the weekly data, okay, just to give you a guide, or rather a sense, right, why euro is showing a bit of a resistance here. Okay. Um, to let you know my style, I like to trade low-hanging fruits. Low-hanging fruits means that trades which are relatively, to me, easier. So there are no easy trades. All trades are tough. All investment decisions, they are tough. Okay. But more like things which are moving a little bit nicer, or a little bit more trending. So for euro, I want to focus this week on euro, partly because it's near to this high here. So it's had a resistance level, and it's also near to this high here. So these two highs was created starting from somewhere around mid 2023. So from mid 2023 to now, so we are looking at this pattern, which is about a year. So this is quite significant high point here. Okay, so let me just draw to you the levels that I'm looking at. Okay, so it's a little bit of a mixed level. Why do I say that it's a little bit of a mixed level, right? So euro had this high point and a high point. Okay, so these are the few levels, right? But very much they happen, or rather euro very much move like in a zone. Okay, because if you start to look at a bit of a previous price movement here, you know that these are the support, these are the resistance, and then these are the resistance, right? So right now, euro, it's in this very clear, all right, level. Okay, so very, very clear zone that there's some form of a resistance. Okay, so what happened was that 2 weeks ago, euro had a huge surge. It went all the way right to the top, but then, it had this very nasty candle that is surged back right now. Okay, right down here, right? So this was like almost like a 180-degree turn, right? You went much higher and then it came back down. Okay, so I coined this phenomena as a wash and rinse, meaning that those people who bought in, all right, they happen to buy in right at the high, but that's also right at the top. Okay, so it could be that they saw this level here. So this could be the level that they saw, all right, and then they thought that, they could just do a bit of a breakout by buying higher, but they never expected that, somewhere around here will be another one more zone of a resistance. Okay, but the momentum of euro was at this moment a little bit strong. Okay, so let me just go inside the day to show you what I mean by the momentum. Okay, you see the moving averages is still moving up, is still opening wide, right? So it's still a little bit higher in terms of its strength. Okay, so to trade this euro, unfortunately, we have to wait for the momentum to wind down. Okay, so how to wait for the momentum to wind down? The whole idea is that we have to have a bit of a clue from the lower time frame to say that it is going to reverse. Okay, so let me just go, to show you, all right, in terms of a possible reversal trade. Okay, so for euro, it's going higher, right? So this is the higher low as compared to this low here, all the higher lows here, right? Or all these are all higher low, okay? So these are the higher high, and then these are the high and the higher high and the high, right? So this is very much typically an uptrend, okay? But somewhere around here, okay, which is this low here, as you compare to the previous low, okay, you see this as you compare this low here to the previous low, it's making a lower low. Okay, so it's doing a lower low, right? So this is the first sign that is suggesting that euro could have a change in trend. Okay, all right. If you're interested to know this, then it's very much in the open source. You can just Google this up. Right now, if this is the case, then what we need to do is we need to wait for euro to move a little bit higher, okay, so that it can form a lower high, okay, and that makes it a good point to take that first instance of a bearish move, okay, because if you were to look at the overall trend in euro right now, okay, it is still up, okay, on the day. But on the week, right, we saw a resistance. So how to reconcile this two? The way to do that is to say that, okay, yes, I want to take a bearish stand on euro, and I recognize that the day had a little bit of a bearishness coming in, but I want to only do that when it goes higher. Okay, so what is the meaning of going higher? Remember, I drew in this horizontal line in the week, right? So I'm just going to mark this horizontal line as blue color, okay? Or maybe as green color, all right? So this is the horizontal line, and then let me just thicken the line first. Okay, so this is the horizontal line. And then when I switch that into the day, you realize that, if I am waiting for price to goes up higher, so there are a few levels that I'm waiting for, right? So the first level would be this level here, which is about 1.1130. So that's the first level, which was the horizontal level for euro. The other one is to look at this low here, okay? Because this low, which is given by this, right, was a support area for euro, okay? And if price is to move up, then naturally the market will be targeting around this zone here as a possible resistance level, okay? To relook at the first instance if euro should becomes bearish, okay? That means as a reversal, okay? So then highlight here would be looking at this level here and as a whole zone, right? To see potentially whether euro can retrace up and to look for a bearish signal here. Okay, so what kind of bearish signal am I looking at? So you'll be looking at, for example, whether there is a bearish, let's say, chart pattern here, or whether there's a bearish candlestick here. All right, and then the thing is to look at it in the lower time frame if you should want to look for a short. And it hasn't happened yet. I hope that next week maybe that we come again and we can talk about euro and see what happens inside here, whether it was a straight plunge or whether it retraces here to get that retracement that I'm looking at and to see whether there is any chance, right, for a lower time frame to form, let's say, a bearish chart pattern here. Okay, so for those in the lower time frame, all right, I'll be always mostly looking at the H4, all right, as my lower time frame as an entry. Okay, all right, so just any question on euro? So euro looking at a possible, weakening in terms of euro, all right, which other words, right, that we might expect NFP to show a little bit of a strengthening in the dollar because the dollar index was near to 100.6, huh? All right, but now moved up a little bit, so might see the continuation of dollar index. Okay, all right, now. If you don't have any questions, let's move on to the cat pair. As I said, right, today, this week, cat is going to be important. okay, but it had already moved. Okay, so for example, if this week we're gonna expect CAD, right, which is BOC, Bank of Canada, to make something about the rates, right? You see that the movement for example, dollar CAD had already happened 2 weeks ago. Okay, so same thing, right? Take a look at the weekly chart. It was a very, very clear trade. In fact, that I had a short in dollar CAD somewhere around here, right? So why was this a very, very clear trade? See the resistance level of dollar CAD. Okay, it's very how to say, you can't miss this level. Okay, anybody traded dollar CAD on this resistance here? Let me know. Or you never see dollar CAD. As I said, right, I like to look at, low-hanging fruits. Huh? So to me, this is a low-hanging fruits because this was like first time, second time, third time, and around here was the fourth time, right? So once dollar CAD moves up and hit this level the fifth time and it was rejected, boom, and that becomes a sell signal for me. Okay, so let me just talk about dollar CAD right now. So take a look at this area here. So this area was that support level, but dollar CAD, you know, um, went down, okay, punched through this whole support area. So this support area is very likely going to become a resistance zone, a resistance area here. Can see that? Okay. So because priced in the lower time frame, which is the day, all right, had already moved down. That means that it already punched through this whole zone here, moved down, all right, and right now it found a support, okay, and it's actually heading up. Okay, so we're gonna watch this level here. That means we're gonna watch this support level to see if it can turn into a resistance level. And of course that the resistance level here is gonna, this whole moving average, huh? Okay, it's gonna act as like a resistance zone as well. Coupled with this resistance level, this one here, all right, then we're gonna see around 1.3580 level each, right, to 1.36. Whether this zone is going to be a resistance area. Okay, so if yes, you're gonna find that CAD, right, is going to hover around here. Okay, hover around here and subsequently to have bearish signal. So BOC might just push the dollar CAD upwards. That means BOC, all right, might just weaken the CAD a little bit. Okay, that's why the dollar CAD moved up. But we're going to watch, right, this region here for continuation of a bearish move in dollar CAD. Okay, so same thing, right, for the levels which I mentioned. All right, please take a note so that in your future trading, you can look at them. Okay, all right. Any question on dollar CAD? No. All good? Okay. Might be a little bit too fast because I'm trying to cover a lot more. Okay, last one. Anybody trading gold? So gold was one of the best, I would say, trending trade to do because it was very obvious that gold was an uptrend. Whenever it hit that support level, support level, support level, it's almost like, like it taken for granted that it should be a bullish moments for gold. Okay, but now it's a little bit different for gold, right? So not only gold, let me just show you the weekly data, right? You see the whole chunk of the data here in gold. Gold, in fact, is trading on an all-time high. Okay. So it's shining right now in its all-time high. So when we have the situation of an all-time high, the way to trade this, okay, there's only one way. Okay, is that once it breaks the all-time high, you let it come back down and you take a bullish stand here. So this is so far for trending, especially for commodities, for metals, right? When it break that all-time high, there's only one way to trade that. That means that once it's break above, if there's ever a chance for it to come back down, all right, we aim for that support level because it's in a very trendy, energizing bunny mode, all right now. Okay, so let me just draw in the few levels for gold. Okay, so these are the critical levels, and unfortunately, the levels, right, they does happen as a zone. Okay, it's not a single line, but it can happen as a zone. So this will be the first zone of gold. Okay, so this will be the first zone of gold, which is around 2,430 to 2,450. But I want to bring to attention, okay, bring to attention the recent levels here. So these would be the recent level, this one. So this one here, okay, this portion here, right? Let me just color this one for you. Now this level here, it's going to be a, just give me a minute. Here we go. Okay, now this level here was the all-time high of gold. Okay, so that's about 2,480 level, 70 to 80 level. Okay, we saw the first time that it touched here and rebounded. Okay, so right now, gold is actually trying to move into this region again. All right, now, what I need you to focus on is that if it does move inside this region again, look for some bullish indication, maybe bullish candles in the day time frame. All right, you want to know that this level is holding well, okay? Because a lot of time, the first move, now the first time, right, of the bounce will not be successful, okay? It needs to go up, come back down, and we call this a retest, like a rebound, right? Then you will be successful. So you see, first time gold tested this level, it moved up a little bit, but when it came down the second time, it actually broke through the all-time high, okay, at this point of time. Okay, so gold has this very, I would say, predictable behavior that it always likes to retest. Okay, once, twice, once, twice. Okay, so we have this once here and want to know that this second time when it tests back here, all right, whether it's going to be successful. Okay, if it's not, then it might just be a little bit more nasty to test back into this level here. And this level is about 2,430, all right, to 50 level, 50-ish level here. And this one is about the region of 2,480. Okay, so that's the level. But gold is uptrend. Okay, any question here? So what I did was I covered indexes. I covered the two FX pairs. Okay, one would be USD. That's because we have NFP. That's Friday. Now the other one is dollar CAD because we have BOC. All right. And lastly is gold, which is the trending trade here and very, very near to the all-time high. Okay, so these are four trades that are monitoring this week, and hopefully, all right, you can also have a look. And if you're interested, you can trade the demo account from Poyums, okay, which is the demo account that you can just go and apply for demo account, the CFD's account, right, and get a demo account from Phillip Securities. Any question? If you do have questions, let me know at the chat box. Okay, seems that you don't have questions. No questions, then I will just end the session here and pass it over to Minghan, right? And to market the next session, because it will be a 10 session series, right? So I will be reviewing about what I covered today, all right? And doing the next session to let you see the effect and talk about new ideas, new trades, okay? Over to you, Minghan.
Okay, thank you, Binny. How many of you have enjoyed the session? So there are like four counters that Binny has shared for us to take a look and do further analysis. If you like it, can you please type thank you, Binny, so that this we are creating value for our clients, and hopefully over the next series you will learn even more on how Binny sees the market, how she analyzes, and how she does charting, how she put the whole story together. So thank you very much, Binny. I myself have gained quite a lot. So some of you are CFD clients and some of you are not. So just want to share with you, we have a CFD welcome gift. If you opt in CFD, this is what you will get. Just open a CFD account to get a free volunteer share CFD. If you do amount of trading, like if you trade Nasdaq, I believe Nasdaq was about 20,000 already at the point. So 1.5 million CFD contract value is actually very doable. And with that, you'll be able to get a TSM share CFD. And last but not least, the Microsoft share CFD. And just now, the charting that Binni showed is our MT5, where MT5, this is how you can opt-in. So if you are currently a CFD client, but you like to use the like you like to chart how does it, this is what you can do. You can go to your post platform and you can go for MetaTrader 5. If you are new, you go to the account opening. If you want MetaTrader 5, choose MetaTrader 5 and opt in and you will get the email instruction. Any further questions? If not, that is all for today. Thank you very much, Binni. Thank you, Vanessa and Charmaine, supporting us quietly behind the scenes.
Thank
And
you.
thank you, clients, for making time to come. Have a fruitful day ahead. See you next
Okay,
week.
thank you. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye bye.